2, 1, live.
Good morning. Recognizing a quorum of commissioners, I call the February 26, 2026 meeting of the Cannabis Control Commission to order. This meeting is being held remote pursuant to Chapter 2 of the Acts of 2025 and is being recorded. Commissioners Benedon, Stebbins, Roy, and myself are participating in today's meeting. All votes taken today will be by roll call. We have a full agenda today that I will generally summarize. We will start with opening comments from commissioners. Then we will proceed to staff license recommendations. I will point out that we do have on the agenda minutes for approval, but that is being tabled until our meeting next week on March 4th. There was one change of ownership recommendation, 24 license renewal recommendations. So anyway, I will start with my fellow commissioners. I'm hoping this is going to be a quick meeting, but if there are any quick comments or updates, I'll start with Commissioner Benedon.
Yes, thank you very much. I will be brief. I want to start, as I know I've done a couple times before, by recognizing all of the dedicated staff who really keep this agency running day to day, doing just the everyday steady work, responding to constituents and licensees, managing complex issues, doing a lot of the work that happens behind the scenes. To all of you who are watching, your professionalism and commitment are really what make all of our work possible. As commissioners, we, of course, all bring our independent judgment to the table, and at times we differ on important policy questions or approaches, which is something that I view as part of a healthy regulatory process. And we, of course, remain united by our shared goal of supporting a safe and transparent and well-regulated cannabis industry. So I never want to miss an opportunity to say how grateful I am to be part of this strong team, both my fellow commissioners and the terrific staff that we have working for us. Just one quick update. Commissioner Stebbins and I had the opportunity this week to meet with the Consumer Protection Division in the Attorney General's office. Thank you to Commissioner Stebbins for coordinating that meeting. On a personal note, it was great to connect with some of my former colleagues, but we also had a very strong and productive conversation with the Attorney General's office, just following up on some of the issues that we as commissioners have talked about before in public meetings regarding issues that could impact consumers. We talked about whether the Attorney General's office ever receives complaints from consumers related to cannabis product, related to accuracy of labeling, perhaps related to advertising. And so we had a productive conversation about what the role is of that office in terms of enforcement on the consumer side. And it was just a preliminary meeting. We will, keep the conversation going, but it was great to have that contact. And thank you again to Commissioner Stebbins for coordinating.
Thank you very much, Commissioner Benedon. And so because we are in a public meeting and this is the first I've heard of the meeting, I congratulate you. I think that's great. I'll echo what you said about thanking, because in particular, I've had a number of staff do go above and beyond over the course of the past week to help me with a couple of different issues. But is this anything that you can provide to us now that you've had the meeting? Can you provide us something in writing so that Commissioner Roy and I benefit from this? Because and this is especially, I think, pertinent to one of the issues that we are going to be raising, which is the issue of inversion. And we'll be working, and this is in particular one of the things that staff has been helping me with. But we do know that inversion is the illegal inversion of product that is not regulated into the regulated market. So if you and Commissioner Stebbins could provide us, now that we know that the meeting happened, if you could provide us with a written update of the topics that you discussed so that we can all benefit from the communication with the Attorney General's office. And maybe this is actually something that Commissioner Roy and I can follow up with. There may be other parts of the Attorney General's office that we want to be speaking with about enforcement of laws, both consumer, but other, we know that, even like potential, criminal issues, consumer issues, those are the types of things that we should be partnering with the Attorney General on. So would you mind providing us, with any sort of brief or notes or just providing us with a memo and then running that past our general counsel to make sure, that we can benefit from that? Or do you need to present that in public meetings? So I'll leave it to you, but it would be great for the two of us to be able to understand what the conversation was with this other agency.
Sure, and I'm happy to share more information, which is really that this truly was kind of a brief introductory, tell us a little bit about what you do, and we'll tell you a little bit about what we do. They did tell us that they have not to date taken any enforcement action related to any cannabis matters. They discussed the distinction between the role of the Attorney General's Consumer Protection Division, which is an enforcement division, as distinct from their consumer advocacy and response division, which is more of a team. And we did not meet with those folks. That's a team that responds directly to constituent complaints and concerns. I think what maybe next would be a follow-up with that team, because they're the ones that would deal with matters that come up, maybe a consumer dispute, but that don't rise to the level of deciding to take enforcement action. So this conversation was less than 15 minutes, and it was really just learning about what their team does as opposed to a substantive discussion of any actions taken. But I'm happy to make the introduction if, follow-up discussion.
Well, again, it's great. It's the first I've heard of it. I think it's important. And again, we need to be collaborating with the Attorney General's office, with the Inspector General's office, with the Auditor's office, on a number of issues, especially when it comes to protecting public health and safety. So I applaud you guys for taking the initiative to do that. And, if you think that there's anything appropriate in addition to share with us, I would appreciate that. And I'm sure Commissioner Roy would. So alphabetically, going to Commissioner Roy, if you have any comments or opening statement.
Thank you and good morning, Madam Chair, my colleagues, and everyone listening. I too echo Commissioner Benedon and highlighting and recognizing the work of the staff at the agency. I specifically want to thank the Secret Shopper Working Group. We had a highly productive long meeting this past week. I really feel we finally have momentum with us on this program that we've had on the books since the inception and really haven't executed to its full potential. So more news to come there. Also, I want to thank the staff who have to follow up on motion language that we pass. And I want to thank Jess Porter, who's overseeing the government affairs staff, and all the staff that helped put the motion tracker together. The executive director and I went through it yesterday. We pass a lot of motions, right? And it's like, how do we follow up on all of them? So it's a really helpful tool. We went through it all. More to come on that too. But right now we have staff who are preparing for a presentation on change of ownership, who are going to, in a future upcoming meeting, share with us our current policy. And also on receivership, we passed motion language where there's action items on receiverships as well. So thank you to the staff who is in the process of preparing all of that for an upcoming meeting. I also want to thank all the folks that testified virtually and provided us written testimony around delivery, exclusivity, and secret shopper. I think I've read almost all of it, and I want to thank everybody that reached out to provide their thoughts. I want to say I was really happy to hear there was not a lot of pushback on secret shopper. So I think folks realize this is really to your point about consumer protection, and I think that's the goal with secret shopper. I would love to hear from the Consumer Protection Division about any complaints that they have had around cannabis. So I don't know if they got into any detail with you, Commissioner Benedon and Commissioner Stebbins, about if they have received complaints and what are those complaints. I would love to hear more about that. And it leads to something that we need to tackle on as a board, and that's an official product recall process. So we don't really have one as a commission. Individual MEs need to have an SOP in place for a recall. So I think this is on our to-do list and something that we can talk about at a future meeting. So thank you so much for my time this morning.
Thank you, Commissioner Roy. Commissioner Stebbins. You're muted.
Thank you, Chair. Apologize for that. Couple items to cover. Last week had the chance to tour and meet with Lazy River Products. They are a vertically integrated cannabis company based in Dracut. They're in the process of opening a second dispensary in Tewksbury. I believe they have over 100 employees. By the way, to my colleagues, they extended an invitation if any of us would like to tour their facility. Great facility, all combined in one: dispensary, cultivation, and product manufacturing. After that, I had a chance to tour a dispensary, Pure Lowell, doing business as Smith, SMYTH. They got a great location off of 495. I have to admit, I was afraid I wouldn't find a parking spot at about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. But great visit with their team. They're interested in expanding their footprint. They also have a cultivation facility in Tewksbury. Our quick update: our social consumption RDT working group is meeting next Friday with our internal team, and the following Friday with all of our external stakeholders, which includes Mass Chiefs, EOPS, DPH, and others. I also echo Commissioner Roy. I want to express my thanks to the folks who testified both virtually and submitted comments on Monday's deadline, and enjoyed reading those. We're all well aware of pending changes to delivery that might become part of the conference committee bill. I think, we've had some communities that weren't aware they weren't allowing delivery, and they've, since reached out to our DGAP team and updated our zoning tracker. If the bill passes in its current form, and we think about the ability of communities to opt out of delivery, is allowed in the bill, I think there's some public education that we can do with communities about the public health and safety benefits that come from allowing delivery. In addition, hearing some of the testimony the other day, again, not to pile another idea on our team, but we may wish to consider some updates to our website to show a map of what communities allow delivery and what couriers and operators actually serve those communities. That might be helpful. Finally, I'm encouraged to see today's change of ownership application being presented by our licensing team. Cultivana LLC, doing business as Levia, is a cannabis beverage manufacturer with facilities up in Georgetown, Mass. I've had the chance to tour that facility ahead of a CBA roundtable, I believe last fall. Company is certainly excited about the opportunities that, with the intro of social consumption. I think the team had hoped to be at our meeting had we been meeting in person today, but I'm sure that Kristen Rogers and her team are watching. If we affirm today's licensing team recommendation, Levia will become the only woman-owned cannabis beverage brand in the country. So exciting opportunity as we go through that vote a little bit later this morning. Thank you, Chair. That's all I have.
Okay, thank you, and I'll echo Commissioner Benedon's statements. Again, thanking the staff for all they do. But one of the things that is going to be my mantra is also making sure that we publicize Equity Hub. We have Slayer Williams and her team have done a great job putting this up there, which basically is a job board for both cannabis licensees to track down people, for social equity applicants to be connected to jobs. One of the things that I have asked our comms team to do is to work with all of the commissioners so that we can go on a little bit of a publicity tour. So Bruce, you probably have the most frequent flyer miles, so let's figure out if we can overlap visits to licensees, but also with local maybe community newspapers or radio stations, because I was just on Jason Raposa's podcast, and Jason, I forget how many jobs he has, but he was unaware of Equity Hub. So this is one of our, our leading licensees, very much at the forefront of, working with a lot of his colleagues and getting the word out about the industry. But here's someone who really didn't know about Equity Hub. So, we as a team, we as commissioners need to do a better job of working with our team to make sure that the resources that we have on our website are actually made public and available to people. So I look forward to working with my colleagues to make sure that we're all going out, not just touring facilities, but also getting the word out to get those important opportunities for social equity and equal economic opportunity partners. So anyway, with that, I want to thank you all, and I will move on, and I will ask Suko Defoe, who will be presenting on behalf of licensing today. This is a change of ownership license recommendation. Suko?
Good morning. The licensee here is Cultivana LLC, doing business as Levia. They are seeking a change of ownership and control of one adult use license, and they are requesting to add 2 individuals in 1 entity. Commission staff has reviewed the application for compliance with applicable laws and regulations and are presenting it for the Commission's review and vote.
Thank you. Do my fellow commissioners have any questions or comments regarding this change of ownership for Cultivana LLC? Seeing none, I will call the roll. Commissioner Bennett, do I hear a motion to approve the change of ownership of Cultivana LLC?
So moved.
Do I hear a second? Commissioner Roy?
Second.
Having been moved and seconded, I will call the roll. Commissioner Bennett?
Aye.
Commissioner Roy?
Aye.
Commissioner Stebbins?
Aye.
Chair votes aye. It passes unanimously. Now we move on to renewal licenses. There are 24 renewal licenses which will be voted upon as a group. Suko, I don't know if you have any questions or comments, but I will ask my colleagues if there are any questions or comments about any of these renewal licenses that will be voted upon as a group. Hearing and seeing none, Commissioner Bennett, will you move to approve the renewal licenses of these 24 that have been recommended for approval today?
So moved.
Do I hear a second, Commissioner Roy?
Second.
Having been moved and seconded, I'll call the roll. Commissioner Bennett?
Aye.
Commissioner Roy?
Aye.
Commissioner Stebbins?
Aye.
Chair votes aye. These 4 licenses are renewed unanimously. So that is it. Unless anyone has any new or any new business that was unanticipated at the time of posting. Hearing and seeing none, I will then, our next meeting date will be hybrid. We will be meeting in person, but also hybrid, March 4th, beginning at 10 a.m. Are there any questions or comments? Hearing and seeing none, I will entertain a motion to adjourn the Cannabis Control Commission until March 4th, 2026, in a public meeting, also broadcast hybrid. Commissioner Bennett, do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Commissioner Roy, do I hear a second to that motion to adjourn until March 4th?
Second.
Having been moved and seconded, I will call the roll. Commissioner Bennett?
Aye.
Commissioner Roy?
Aye.
Commissioner Stebbins?
Aye.
Chair votes aye. Hopefully this is a record, and I appreciate everyone for allowing this to be done, and we have more substantive issues that we'll be discussing next week. So thanks everybody. We are now adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thanks, everyone.